Do your thing, baby.
Oh, well, the DBR here. Welcome to the Hamityville Horror. Thank you for visiting. I'm Clint.
I am Don, I think.
Oh, are you?
I'm
I think
thinking.
you are too.
All right, cool.
Tonight, we are joined with two very special guests. One, Mr. Chadrick Whitmire, and Mr. Johnny Ray. How are you folks doing tonight?
Good.
Doing very well.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you for coming,
very
man.
welcome.
Absolutely.
So Don kind of threw me for a loop. I went into this thing doing research on one guy, and I got two. So I got two for the price of one here. So bear with me. I might have to change my questions up a little bit, or
come on,
we
man.
can just throw them out.
This
and,
is what we do.
Talk about our favorite Amityville movies if you want.
This is what we do.
Um,
we shoot from the hip, and we don't plan shit out.
Mhm.
You know this.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're no holds bar guys, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold back if you want to let her rip. You're good.
Yeah, we don't censor anybody here. So
No.
Yeah. So Chadrick, I wanted to start off with you since I did the bulk of my checking into you, and I was seeing that you were an actor, and you're a writer, and you've gotten into directing. Can I also assume that you are like a producer?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, I just call myself a writer and producer because making the Malcolm movie and everything like that, I started doing them kind of individually, and then we decided to make a feature out of it.
Mhm.
Is pretty much how that happened.
So was your original idea just to do like one short film, and then
It was.
Okay.
It was. And I had actually met Alex Javo at an event in Atlanta, and he told me, he said, write something for me. We found out that we actually lived close to each other, and he's like, write something for me. And I was like, okay, awesome. So I went home and the next day and wrote something up, and I called it Changing Malcolm. It was about a guy with mental illness, schizophrenia, and he's just trying to live a normal life, but he can't get away. His name's Michael Russo, but he can't get away from Malcolm, which is the voice.
Okay.
So
Michael Russo.
It did start out like that, though.
Okay. Michael Russo. Russo, that's a familiar name to me. Is that just a coincidence? Because there's
sort of like LaRusso, Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Well, that's not where I was going initially with that. What I did was look up like last names of people, like Italian names, basically, and I came up with Russo.
Yeah. Well, being in Pennsylvania, my brain automatically went to who is it? Jim Russo.
Oh yeah,
John Russo. John Russo. Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living
Dead. Yeah. So anyhow, that's cool. So one of I didn't get a chance to see the Malcolm series. I made an attempt at it, but I realized that when I actually found links to them that they appeared to be private. So maybe I'll work with you another time to try to actually get my eyes on it. But I did see a trailer for the full length feature that you're looking to make, and I got the impression that you not only have like the mental and internal dialogue representation of Malcolm with his counterpart character Michael, but you also have a visual one that what I'm gathering from the trailer is that whenever he's experiencing internal conflict with Malcolm, that he sees him. Is that correct?
Well, he don't see him. He kind of takes over him.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works. Yeah, we initially were doing a series, and then we were like, okay, we've got all this footage. Let's make a feature-length movie out of it. So we reshot some stuff, added some stuff, and put a twist on the ending of it.
Okay. Did you use some of the original footage or
all of it?
Oh, okay.
Wow, nice.
That's cool. So kind of like a remix. So you don't necessarily have to go back and watch the original series in order to understand anything about this story. It's a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's a culmination of all the episodes into in one long feature.
Okay.
We removed it off of platforms, and then we just edited it all together into one.
Okay, it's starting to come together now. I gotcha. So no wonder I couldn't see it, because you're like, we yanked it to make our full length project out of it. I
Right.
gotcha. So at the point where you decided to make this, how far had you gone with the series? Was it 5?
I think it was 5, wasn't it, Johnny? It was
Yeah.
5, and then
Yeah, it was probably. I do believe so. Yeah, around 5. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was kind of, listening to some interviews and looking through the credits and so forth of what I could find, I saw it was changing Malcolm, chasing Malcolm, catching Malcolm, confessing Malcolm, and then creating Malcolm.
Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Oh, was that a 2-parter?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it was, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Notice how people are doing that now. They're like, let's not end it right now. Let's split up the last part 1, part 2.
It's a money grab. That's all it is.
So that's cool. At least you're not starting, completely from scratch. Is this a writing collaboration?
It actually is. I wrote 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alex wrote 5 and 6, and we wrote 7 together. And then he did some of the. He wrote the intro and some of the stuff at the end too.
Okay.
And Johnny, we're so grateful for Johnny, because not only is he an awesome DP, he's a really good director too.
Yeah, I was going to ask where you stepped into this, Johnny.
I actually came on board for Chasing Malcolm, and
Oh,
they had already shot Changing Malcolm, and they wanted to go a different direction with the cinematographer. And I was still in school. I went to Full Sail for cinematography, and I was learning, and I'm still learning. I learn every time I pick up a camera and film something. You learn something new. So.
that's great. I apologize for the motorcycles going outside my house. It's hot, so I have the window open. So,
and that's basically. And I've been on board with the Malcolm series ever since. So.
That's cool. So you learn something every time you pick up the camera. Would you say that you're also willing to experiment and take risks with the camera?
Well, yeah, I was basically I did my gear was limited. I started with the when I was in school, I had a FS5, a Sony FS5, and it was just sort of like too big, a little bit bigger than what I wanted. So I got a 6K Pro Blackmagic, and that's what I think that's what I filmed Malcolm, Chasing Malcolm with, and I've had it ever since. And I've never, I was always sort of afraid to use handheld because shaky arms, you get it rigged up and everything, shaky arms, you don't want it to be really shaky and everything. And I didn't really have a stabilizer or a gimbal that could support the camera rigged out. So I've since then, I've invested in like an easy rig, and basically it just takes the weight off my hands, off my arms. So that's what we filmed. We reshot Changing Malcolm. We reshot it, and we used it, and we filmed Closing Malcolm and the intro to the entire feature using the Easy Rig quite a bit. So we were on sticks for the majority of the series, and we sort of went away from that. I tried not to want to use it on a tripod for anything else that we shot. So
yeah, I don't understand a ton of that aspect of filming something. I assume that they'd really like the versatility of being able to go handheld and I do understand maybe the camera being, you know, a little too cumbersome or having enough weight that you'd get shaky with it, you know, and a stabilizing ring would be great. Am I envisioning that right? Is it kind of like a backpack type thing with a
Yeah, it goes over your head.
thing goes over your head?
Down.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That takes it still, you know, you can still get shaky with it, you know. But at the same time, you can also put like a one of them gimbal rings on it, like a Ronin M or something like that, and that takes the weight off of you as well. It helps a whole lot. So
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Cinematography, definitely. I mean, especially with these indie films, we've noticed that's like a really big part of, if you have a budget, that's where I would put a lot of it into, because, you know, the lighting, the camera work, you know, just everything about it. That's, to me, and the Clint to a certain extent, that's one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, honestly.
yeah.
I love interesting artful camera angles, and, you know, I don't know, almost like trolley shots and things like that. It just to make it look a little different. To me, it's more fun than just watching like a static image all the time.
Right.
So it's cool that you're bringing that, you know, that professionalism to it, I should say. Chadrick, do you find yourself trying to surround yourself with people who can handle the things that you don't feel as comfortable with? I know you've tried to do it all yourself in the past.
AKA that you don't want to fucking do.
Well, the whole DP aspect, I'm not a director of photography. And it was nice to have Johnny come on and direct some of it. It was really cool that he did that. I tried to get him to do it before, and then finally, I guess I talked him into it. And I was like, come on, you know, like the next episode, let's get a different viewpoint, you know, kind of on it. I thought that would be cool.
Yeah. So he wore you down, huh? Got you to come on board.
I made
he wore me down to do the directing. I wasn't going to do it.
Were you holding out for more money?
It seems like it. He's like,
well, I was like, you know, this is your baby. You know, I want you to be more in control of it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm sort of getting burned out on the camera a little bit, you know, and I wanted to, you know, try something different. Because when I was in school, I really liked one of my favorite classes was actually the directing class. So I actually enjoyed that a lot, and I had a blast directing, creating Malcolm Volume 2, and then the reshoot of Changing Malcolm and Closing Malcolm. It was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate Chadrick allowing me to do that. And he was a great help. He was a great help too.
Sounds like a great experience, and something
Definitely.
that you can just like sink your teeth into and you know, and try to have fun with.
Yeah.
well, somebody that we know really well, Slutty the Clown, aka Claire Bacon.
Hey!
She says you need a good DOP, and I mean it's true. I mean, the biggest thing is that it takes the brunt of the force off of you, Chadrick, and it's like, you know, obviously you can trust Johnny to do what you want to do and see the vision through. So having that trust and having that, you know, that camaraderie, that goes a long way, especially with something that, you know, is episodic, because, you know, he wasn't around for everything and he made it work. And that's, you know, that proves he's good DOP.
Oh yeah, definitely. We just talked about it and we did it and we have fun doing it, but it's still a lot of hard work.
Oh, it's a lot of hard work. Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. It's
and we brought on for Changing Malcolm, the intro, and Closing Malcolm. We had another gentleman there, since I was filling the director's shoes. And those parts, we brought in another DP, and he actually brought a new aspect. I was basically right by his side, learning from him, because he has more experience than I do at cinematography, and I was learning a lot from him as well.
Yeah, on the job training, love it.
Damn right.
That's the best kind.
Into the fire. That's how you do it.
That's right. That's right. Yep. I lost my train of thought.
I could tell.
I was right there on something. I was right there on it.
You literally were just. Woo! I was literally watching the idea leave your head.
Yeah, no. To go back to what I was saying about surrounding yourself with professionals to handle the stuff that you can't juggle or don't want to. How do you approach sound? I mean, because we find that in the self-production thing, sound is critical. Like to get a good capture, and I didn't know if you had a good guy for that or good lady or however you're approaching
actually, that. Johnny?
Well, sound is I'm wanting to learn more about sound, because as you can have sort of you can have not the best image on screen and have great sound, and it'll save you, but you can have a great shot and a great image but crappy sound and people will get up and leave.
Fucking man.
It's kind of where I was going with that.
God, yes.
To be honest with you, chasing Malcolm, I didn't have anything other than lav mics, and I used
Okay.
little Tascam DR10Ls, and you'll be able to. Unfortunately, you'll be able to see one on Alex. Michael, the person that played Michael on that episode. But then we brought in a couple of. We brought in actually. I think wasn't it Anthony that we brought? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Anthony Holtz, I do believe it, isn't it?
No, it's Anthony Sharo.
Anthony Sharo. We brought in him, and he done a couple of episodes with us, and then I went ahead and just broke down and I got a pretty good boom mic and a boom pole and an external recorder, and I'm still learning. This is just it's a huge with Malcolm. It was a huge learning process.
Yeah.
So, is the sound as good as I want it to be? No, it's not. It's something to be. I wish it was better. But it with the help of a really good sound guy, we made it a little better. And I just ask everybody that watches it to be gentle.
I hear you.
Don't thrash me, please.
Yeah. No. No. If I can hear what they're saying, and it's not all garbled or
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, it's
echoey and have like background noise burying the audio. I'll be fine with it.
I don't even care about that. Like dialogue. That is the most important thing when it comes to sound in a movie is dialogue. If I can't hear what they're saying, I'm not going to say I'm just going to bail out. But I'm like 90% like I don't want to watch this if I have to do subtitles because then I'm missing what's on the screen. No, and that's good. That's fantastic.
It's a great movie, and I'm very proud of it. And it may have its small issues like Johnny just mentioned, but they are very minute. They're very. I mean, it's a great movie.
Oh,
I have zero doubt.
There's major productions where you can catch a boom mic in the corner of the screen.
Shit,
that's not going to take me completely out of it. I see a lav mic somewhere for a few minutes. Oh well, not a big deal.
That's the least of my worries.
Nobody's perfect. Not even these $1 million budgets. You see mix ups and mess ups all the time, and that's just it's growing pains. So I mean. And you see that whenever you get finished with it, you'll edit it all day for like a week, every day, and then you finish it, and then when you're watching it, you're like you see a little bit of a mic up there in the corner, and you're like, how did I miss that?
Shit, Jesus.
and in some cases, that becomes some of their charm.
That's true. The cheesiness, corniness, like hey, you can see that boom mic up there. Leave it in there.
The little trivia thing that you walked away with that you pointed out to your friends, but I mean, nothing's ever perfect. So it's nice to strive for it, but as long as you're happy with the end product, that's all that really matters.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, how far are you into this process? I mean,
It's been submitted to Film Hub, so it's waiting distribution.
Okay.
Wow.
So you've gone the whole way through it. You're done editing and
Yep.
polishing. You're ready
Yeah,
to put it out there
it's
for everybody to see it.
it's as polished as it's going to get for us for right now. We watched it. I finished it. And everything, and we watched it and we liked it, and we was like, you know what, people gave us some critiques and feedback and everything, but honestly, we were all ready for it to just go ahead and get out there, because we're aiming to put it on. We're hoping to get it on Tubi, but I've seen things far worse than what we made together and it be on Tubi. So
Okay.
I don't even have to echo that. I guarantee you, I've seen worse on Tubi, and I'm not even saying anything you have is bad, but I have seen some terrible, terrible shit on Tubi.
But that's where I watch 85% of my movies.
I
love Tubi. It's awesome.
I commend you for that. I really do. I commend you're
Alex,
you're better man than me.
Alex called me the other day and he was like, "So, have you seen any new movies lately?" And he said, like Oppenheimer or the Barbie movie. I said, "I've seen some new movies on Tubi because I'm just addicted. I watch it to fall asleep every night. I watch it during the day to stay awake."
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just surf through there and look for something that looks interesting and hope for the best.
And then he messages me and goes, "Hey, don't watch this on Tubi." I'm like,
"Yeah, don't watch that one."
I was looking at that.
Yeah. Every now and then you find a gem. I did find one on there that I'm going to make Don watch it, and we're going to do a review of it real soon.
Whoa, I'm so glad that you have that much faith in me. But okay, I'm glad you have mind control over me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I will start with Chadrick. So what got you into doing this whole spiel with writing / producing / directing / acting? Was there something that happened early on that kind of spurred it on, and then after that we'll go to Johnny and see if he can answer the question too.
Okay, basically when I was 3 years old, I knew I wanted to be an actor when I grew up. I always had this thing. I'm Burt Reynolds. Wanted to be Burt Reynolds.
I still do.
And so I've had that on up into like middle school and started doing theater. And then in high school, I did theater as well as theater. And so that was some of my acting stuff that I had liked to do at the time. But really what got me into writing, I started writing Barnes Funeral Home, which is a short. I'm actually writing it into a feature right now. But I started taking acting classes at a place called the Actors Scene in Beaufort, Georgia. And I realized after a couple projects I'd done, I didn't really like acting. Like acting wasn't for me. So I knew I liked writing, and I kind of just went back into writing. And one day I said, I could be one of these people that talk about doing it, or I can do it. I had a couple guys, throughout my life say, you're just talking this, that, and other. And a lot of people do that. But I got to a point where I was serious. So before I even had any money, I went ahead and cast for Barnes Funeral Home to put some fire under me. And that's how it started, was in 2021 with that short. And I learned that I was not a DP. I'm just not camera oriented. But so I started writing and came up with Barnes Funeral Home, and I never stopped writing after that.
No, that's how many times have we heard that, Clint? We've talked to people that they get that acting, the bite of the acting bug, and they kind of go, but then they realize that it's not what they want to do, so they get behind the camera or they get behind the pen and a piece of paper. And one thing and you said it perfectly, there's people that have these ideas that put them on paper, and that's where they stay. is just on a piece of paper. But the fact that you've taken it beyond that and you've created something, I mean, kudos to you, because that's, and me and Clint always say, you've done what 95% of the people on earth want to do, and that's make or write or direct a movie. And some people just aren't going to get to do that because they don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning. That I went to a place 3 hours away from where I live, in a place called Warm Springs, and took 9-10 actors down there with me, and we filmed the movie that day and night. I had to leave the next morning by 11, but we were really lucky to have gotten that. It's this big, really nice house that we filmed at, and we were really lucky. I had a friend and his parents own it, so it was they gave me a good deal on getting in there. But yeah.
Yeah, locations can be tough.
Oh, whew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finding a place to let you do what you want to do, and negotiating a price that you can live with. I mean, and organizing to get everybody there at the same time. Sounds like a nightmare.
It's work. It's but it's fun. It's fun work, But I really wanted it. I didn't want to be one of those people talking about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and I did it.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Yes,
that's a huge step. I mean,
yes.
Making a project start to finish. I mean, good or bad, doesn't matter. I mean, you've done that, and you can look back on it and say, well, that wasn't the favorite thing that I ever did, but I learned this during that process.
That's the thing. You learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Not to draw it away from Johnny. I don't know. Johnny, did we go on too long? You forgot the question. How did you get into all this?
How did I get into it? Well, I've always been, I've always loved movies since I was a kid. I mean, I even watched Bela Lugosi and the vampire, Dracula, and watched I was watching like the Monsters and Addams Family, and when I was a kid, Andy Griffith Show. I was always sort of, if I wasn't in front of the TV, I was sort of like also out playing, outside, didn't have these computer games when I was growing up and gaming consoles and stuff like that. So film and just, my imagination, was always the biggest part of me. And my mom always said that, I had a vivid imagination. And one day, I mean, I used to work for the federal government. I used to work for the USDA, and I was making some really good money. And I was just like, you know what? I just can't imagine myself doing this. I want to do something that I'm passionate about. I love movies. So, I mean, I started with Full Sail, actually attempting to go into like compositing and stuff like that, VFX, and doing computer animation. That's basically the closest thing that they had really had for that kind of program. And I was like, and then I realized, you start doing something and you might realize that that's not for you, and I didn't want to be sitting behind a computer all day. And so I was like, I'll try the stuff behind the camera. And when I picked up the camera and was filming my own little shorts for school assignments and stuff like that, I fell in love. So, and like I said, I fell in love with the directing class and stuff, and editing. I've been told that, I edit pretty well, but it's just something that I don't want to do, all the time. I want to either direct or be behind the camera doing DP work, or and learning. There's so many things that I've still yet to learn, like to do lighting and basically pulling off them shots, the moneymaker shots, them shots that leave people in awe in their seats watching movies. And I've even also thought about trying to act a little bit. I was in drama in high school, and but I see what Alex has to go through at the same time, doing these roles, and I've seen what Chadrick has done doing extra work and stuff like that. And honestly, I just don't, it's this time constraint. I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah. Well, I can appreciate that. You definitely have to find what your passion, what you're good at, what you're drawn to, what you want to focus on, and it's cool that it's something that you never say, well, I'm there. I've done everything I want to do with this. There's always something new.
And another part of the process, the filmmaking process that I enjoy, it's just finding time to sit down and do it is actually screenwriting.
Yeah.
So I mean, Chadrick was sort of like, I was like, I'll help you write something, and he was like, can you send me something? And I sent him something, and he was like, you're pretty good.
He really is. He the thing about Johnny though is he is so passionate about it. He could do anything. When it comes to film, he can do everything.
That's awesome.
That's a good commodity to have, especially, like you said, with the things you don't want to do, he can do it, and he can do it well. So that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. Passion will take you a long way. Mix in a little bit of talent. You got something different.
Damn right.
He's very talented.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
So I guess outside of this project, are there projects that you've done, say like that you've written yourself, or you have plans to do that in the future?
Actually, did you say something, Johnny?
No.
I actually have written a feature-length movie called The Butcher.
Okay.
And I wrote it because I wanted to prove to myself that I could actually complete a feature film. So I wrote The Butcher, and I hope to one day make it. I really do. It's just going to be a little more, getting money.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Johnny, our next project is the full-length Barnes Funeral Home movie.
Yeah.
But I also co-wrote a movie called Deadline.
Yes, that's what I was waiting to hear.
It just wrapped filming, actually, and I wrote it with my writing mentor, Derek Bailey, and that was just fun. The way he would set it up away, and I would do the dialogue and everything like that. So we work well together, and I'm actually writing. I've gotten some written on another. What it was going to be a web series, but I'm turning it into a feature. It's called Construction Crews. And it's about 3 serial killers that go town to town. They're construction workers, and they go to work a job and they kill people at the same time.
Shit, I'm in. Had me.
Yeah,
I could see they'd have some creative ways to dispose of the bodies.
Yeah, man.
I guess,
Concrete.
Yeah. Just I'm in on that one. I'm further along on Barnes Funeral Home because I've been working on that, and I doing some flashback stuff a little bit. I'm not doing a whole lot of that in the movie, but I am doing some of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited about that project, and Johnny told me that he wanted to, he was going to do it with me, so that made me feel really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are any of those scripts already completed? I mean, like the Barnes Funeral Home or the Construction Crews, or
no? The only one that's completed is The Butcher.
Gotcha.
But I'm working on Barnes Funeral Home, and I'm working on Construction Crews.
Mm-hmm. Johnny, what about you? What are your creative aspirations with your own work? Have you got something planned in the future?
Yeah, I've been sort of planning, writing here and there, developing it's a post-apocalyptical series. I was, just going to do like a short film or a long short film. And I was like, you know what, I have a lot of story that I can tell. I'm talking about this is not just, a small story. It could possibly go, Walking Dead length.
Like a saga.
Nice.
and like not and you know, just a series, you know, like a 30-minute to like 1 hour each episode series.
Mhm.
And it's basically about, you know, a solar flare. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Carrington event that happened
Okay.
back in the 1800s. It basically wiped out like a lot of telegraph systems and stuff like that. But this would be something a much larger scale that,
Wow.
you know, sends planes crashing to the ground and wipes out most of the electrical and electronic infrastructure on the planet. You know, of course, there are some things that won't be affected by an electron, you know, like an EMP type of event.
Right.
But, you know, it's going to do so much damage that, you know, it's sort of going to be like, you know, a wasteland, sort of. You know, I mean, things are going to be sent back to the Dark Ages, sort of, and sort of like Mad Max. You know,
There you go. I was like thinking Mad Max.
sort
Yeah.
of like, yeah, sort of like Mad Max meets like the Book of Eli. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you've ever watched the Book of Eli or not.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's sort of like the look that I'm sort of wanting, that I envision going with, because the sun blaring down on, you know, on the planet, and sort of like scorched earth toward it, sort of like you'll be able to see the northern lights in Georgia. You know, you'll be able to, that's how big of a solar flare that hits the planet.
Damn.
That we're talking about. So, but yeah, and that, and writing a vampire feature with Alex Javo, the star of Malcolm.
Mhm.
So we're writing that, and so hopefully gonna be hopefully finish that script within the next month and a half, hopefully.
Nice. Clint, I need your help. Who
Yeah?
the hell put that comment about pre-apocalyptic story?
Kyler Kenny.
Thank you. Okay, Kyler Kenny. So one thing I have noticed, and I don't know if it's a coincidence. I'm sure it's not, but you kind of have, you know, your selected people that I've seen. You know, you have Simon, you have Alex, you have Sky that are in a lot of your movies. So, do you like to keep it close to home when it comes to the actors and actresses that you have in your films? You know, is it a camaraderie thing? Are you know, that's who you're most comfortable with, or is it just a coincidence that they're there?
Who is that?
Yeah.
Whoever wants to answer, you both can answer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Oh, sorry. Well, definitely love working with Alex. You know, worked with him on the 48-hour film festival, Atlanta 48, and I've worked with him on Malcolm since, what was it, 2021 that we started filming?
I believe so. The end of it.
So, and Sky and the people that we've worked with, they're great. They're great and talented people. So definitely wouldn't mind utilizing them. But also have met other people, you know, from like networking events and stuff like that we would love to work with as well, you know, on future projects. So trying to get Chadrick to step back in front of the camera a little bit. He doesn't want to.
No.
I'm a writer. I love writing. It's just, you know, my thing. That's what I do. But as to answering the question, for some of the projects, I'm bringing on some new people. When I initially did Barnes Funeral Home, I didn't know anybody. I just put a casting call out for auditions, and I still like to do that to get other people. Like one guy that plays the detective, his name's Joel Rogers, and I just really like him. I like his work, and so I reached out to him and asked him if he was interested, and he was like, yes, definitely. And I've done that to a few more people. But I love the people that are engaged with us in the movie, and I do want them to have parts in later things, but I do want to keep that, giving other people opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's cool.
There's a good plethora of people out there.
Yeah, and we see it all the time. I mean, it makes sense that that you would have, like a core group of people that you can rely on, that you like working with, that you want to just have back over and over and over again because you just have good chemistry and you like what they give you. I mean, we even see it, in multi-million-dollar projects. That's why Tim Burton puts, Johnny Depp and, Helena Bonham Carter and everything he does. It's, these are just people he's comfortable with, and they're kind of like his close-knit family.
Well, thank God you didn't go with Rob Zombie with Sherry Moon Zombie.
Oh, well, that's different too.
I was gonna go ape shit on that one, like, but she fucking sucks, but she can't act.
Well, I mean, it's just like old Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler, he uses every movie that he produces. You usually see Rob Schneider. You usually see the people that was in like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Grandma's Boy.
Grandma's Boy.
Every single movie that he does, they have some kind of cameo.
That's right.
It's so great.
Yep. Rob Schneider plays the same guy in everyone. You can do it.
You can do it. Jesus. I like when he's the delivery man in Big Daddy. Hip Hop Anonymous.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. You're
And
cheating. This is bullshit.
It was like maybe only like a year and a half ago that I discovered Rob Schneider's martial arts movie.
Oh, wow.
Where he was in prison.
Yeah, Big Stan.
That was fantastic film. I loved it. It was campy as everything, but
it's campy as shit, but it's so good.
It was great.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that
I
movie's
used to have
great.
the DVD.
That movie's great, no doubt about it. Clint.
So, yeah, I was kind of interested to go back a little bit, and I know we talked about what got you into this type of work, what allowed you to realize your passion. But do you have any really strong like influences as far as specific movies that motivated you, actors that you loved, or like maybe you just like a director's style or something and you want to kind of like draw from those influences to put into your work?
Well, I'm a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan from 1974.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Toby Hooper is awesome to me. And I loved Gunnar Hansen. He was amazing. He even wrote a book about filming that called Chainsaw Confidential. And so I have to say that. And then the screenwriter, Kevin Williamson, that wrote Scream.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Those are my biggest ones because as Stanley Kubrick, I like him. And sometimes before I go on set, I'll watch a documentary about him. But Scream in 1996, I was 8 years old. I went at not Halloween, but it came out at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, and I saw that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie about the action figure.
Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw those. Back to back. But I fell in love with Scream, and I owned the videotape. I had bought the videotape. I remember my grandmother, I'd go visit her on the weekend, and I would always rent movies. And she said, well, if I buy you this movie, you can't rent movies for a month. I watched that movie over and over and
Wore the
over
fucking
again.
tape out.
Exactly. So my biggest influence, and also my favorite actor, my top two favorite actors, honestly, Bill Moseley is, and Crispin Glover.
Oh, Crispin Glover, so underrated. God.
Yeah.
Dude is incredible.
I love them. And then Bill Moseley was in part 2.
Yes.
The more comical version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still love that movie. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of
part 2 is awesome.
Movies. Yeah, part 2 is amazing.
I've got actually on my phone.
Ah,
sweet.
That's great.
And then when I open it, it's Gunnar Hansen, the original one.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, I can't believe
I didn't hear Burt Reynolds in there. What happened there?
What the fuck, Burt Reynolds?
Well, I wanted to be Burt Reynolds when I was a little kid. I mean, I liked his movies and all, and I used to call him Burt Menards because I couldn't say the word.
Yeah.
And I used to run around saying, Burt Minards, I want to be like Burt Minards when I grow up.
I wanna be
And
smoking the
my mom
baby.
told me about that.
Now, were you more of a fan of clean shaven, like Deliverance era Burt Reynolds, or like mustache 80s Burt Reynolds?
I would say
Mustache
Burt Reynolds.
80s. Yeah.
All right.
Smoking the Bandit, man. Damn right.
Definitely.
Yes.
But I also liked him. He was on, he did an episode of King of Queens.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And I really enjoyed that episode. He can be really hilarious at times.
And he's a cool down to earth guy. I had the pleasure of meeting him when I was younger. He's a cool guy.
Now-
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You never
man.
told me this.
No, I mean, I
Damn.
go advertising, people that I've met and stuff like that. But I mean,
All right, Chadrick. I'm really gonna
Well,
I'm
before
gonna
you
pick
move
your brain
on,
on. Okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna pick his brain on
All
Burt
right.
Reynolds.
go ahead.
So do you remember a show called Evening Shade?
Yes, that's what I used to watch when I was a kid.
Yes. Him
So
and Michael
that's how I
Jeter were
knew.
amazing.
Yeah, that's the show that was on that I always said I want to be Burt Minards.
God, what a great show too. All right, Clint, moving on. I just wanted to make sure you saw Evening Shade because Evening Shade was a phenomenal show.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. It was a good place to drop that in.
Absolutely.
person or people that I draw inspiration from.
Yes.
Cinematography wise, it'd have to be Andrew Lesney and Roger Deakins.
Yeah.
Andrew Lesney is the one that directed. He worked with Peter Jackson a lot. He done Lord of the Rings, King Kong. I do believe when Peter Jackson did King Kong, the cinematography, in Lord of the Rings, the things that they did to make Ian McKellen tall
Jesus,
and
yes.
the hobbits small compared to each other. And, they used conventional VFX, practical visual effects. They used big tables or like bigger props for the hobbits and smaller props for, normal sized people, and Roger Deakins.
Yeah, that's I know that name. That's Blade Runner. That's Blade Runner 2049 and No Country for Old Men.
1917 as well.
Yes.
Oh, dude. When that movie came out, I was like, that was my favorite movie of the year when I seen that movie.
That's a great movie.
Wow.
But director wise, what really, I remember watching this movie, this short. It was called Lights Out, and it's a little short film, and it gained such recognition and it went so viral that Hollywood called the director and the creator, and he ended up directing Annabelle Creation. He ended up directing Shazam. David Sandberg.
Oh yeah.
I even have a picture on. Hold on, just one moment. I have a picture, a screensaver. My background on my computer is him saying, "Make films, not excuses." So
there you go.
And he runs a YouTube called Pony Smasher, and that's the name of his YouTube channel, Pony Smasher. And he takes the time to make tutorial videos on how he done his shorts, and he with his wife Lotta, and because he came from Sweden. I mean, that's where he hailed from. He moved to Los Angeles to do Lights Out and all these other great films that he's done, and all these shorts that he's ever done. If you've never seen them before, and you like sort of like thriller-esque type of films, Pony Smasher is the way to go. I'm telling you, he's great.
To check that out, dude, without a doubt. I want to make sure that we put Claire's comment. Strip tease, Vaseline, wellies, galoshes, perfect Burt. Jesus Christ. All right.
I love her.
I do too, but shit, I didn't expect that one. All right. Definitely. Jesus. Whew. What else you got, Clint? That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, I kind of I wanted to find out what other directions you feel like you might go, because it seems like you love horror movies, and that there's a strong focus on like serial killer types. At least I've heard a lot of it right now. But I mean, are there other interest things that you'd like to experiment or try with, in the future when you put these current projects and things that you have to do behind you?
I honestly was talking about writing a Christmas movie
That's
at
cool.
one point, like like not like a faith-based movie, but more of a family movie.
Sure.
That is something I want to do. I'm not what the comedy. I'm not a comedian, and I don't write comedy. But I love horror thriller genre. But yeah, after things are said and done, I would really like to write like a family movie, something different than I normally write.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
Like a twisted, creepy family movie, or
No,
like Krampus.
no,
or a heartfelt drama.
heartfelt drama.
Okay. All right.
That's cool, man. That's going from one end of the spectrum to the other. So, hell yeah.
Mhm.
You gotta
I
step out
think I could pull it off.
sometimes.
What's that?
Johnny?
Gotta step out of your comfort zone sometimes.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
And that just makes you a better director, better writer, it makes you a better creator all around.
Right.
I
agree.
was writing a movie. As Blackwell Comes Home. I put it on the back burner because of everything else that I've been working on. But then that later I do want to pick up. It's a drama. It's about a lady that gets out of prison, and she has to take care of her mom because her caretaker has to be back to Mexico for a couple of months. And so she's, there to take care of her. And then all this stuff happens. She meets up with this guy, and just a downward spiral.
Damn.
Chadrick, we actually sort of forgot about it. I haven't forgot about it, but I just sort of put it on the back burner. And the betrayal.
No, we did the betrayal. Oh gosh.
I came up with the story when I was in school called The Betrayal, and it's basically about a husband and wife. They're not. He's not happy with the marriage. There's rocky and stuff like that, and he ends up hiring a contract killer to kill her, and it ends up being her ex.
Damn. Holy fuck.
And but the reason I really wanted to shoot it with my iPhone, because I had just got the Pro Max, the 13 Pro Max, and award-winning films had been filmed with the iPhone.
100%.
Tangerine was filmed with an iPhone 7, I do believe.
Yep.
Wow.
And, it's just all about it's the story and the iPhone's cameras and stuff. They're great. They're great in and of itself. So I got a camera, a cell phone gimbal, and we shot it. And I used lav mics, but I learned a new method of concealing lav mics, and I wanted to test it out. And I have yet to really put it together and edit it. And so I guess that's just one of those things. I got to make a goal to finish up and get it released. So
that's really cool.
I really like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So you got the pieces to the puzzle. You just got to stick it together and
put it together.
Make the completed product. That's awesome. I like it.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely. I like it.
Sort of stepped away from the whole thriller, horror type of films that we were used to doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, can't just make slasher films all the time.
Why
Gotta
not?
do something else that stimulates your creative processes. I get that.
Well, I think one thing that and not to take away anything that anybody's done, because if you look at a lot of these, and Clinton, you can attest to it. If you look at a lot of these, indie horror movies we watch, I mean, some of them just they hit it out of the park regardless of what their subject matter is. You know, like you said, you can't make a slasher all the time, but some of these people just know how to, and it comes back what you said, Chadrick, with Scream. You know, people know how to kind of push the envelope, and Scream did it. You know, it brought back a genre that was nearly on the brink of just death, and it reinvigorated, you know, the slasher genre. And you know, it's, if you can do something different, I mean, kudos to you, because most people, they just stick with it. But I mean, we know a lot of directors in the indie spot that, you know, they just keep reinventing the wheel, and it kind of blows my mind of what they do. You know, so
I keep on waiting for like a Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees type of combination character, guy that wears a mask and has claws for a hand. You know, I'm sort of waiting for somebody to come out with something like that.
They haven't done that yet. Now they've had, like, we know somebody that's done like a what is it, a Freddy and Jason and Leatherface.
Oh yeah.
What is it, the Evil 3?
The Evil 3.
Yeah.
It is.
It was
So
kind of like a mashup where they pitted them against one another.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I'm talking about like actually one person.
like one person.
Yeah, combining in one character.
Yeah, combining all three characters or two characters into one character, you know.
I'm interested. Well, hell,
Cool.
why can't you do that?
They gotta
Exactly.
Story first.
Get on it.
Right.
Get on it. We'll be waiting for that one.
But with my thing is, I'm a big advocate for mental illness, and actually wear my NAMI shirt.
Oh,
right
hell
now.
yeah.
And I facilitate groups for NAMI. I big into that, into, like I said, advocate, and that's where, like, Barnes Funeral Home dealt with mental illness. Malcolm is a schizophrenic serial killer dealing with it, and the ugly truth of it is what, you know, is a good thing for me to say about Malcolm, because you get to see the really ugly truth about some people, you know, what they go through.
No, definitely. And hats off to you for supporting that and being an advocate. That's amazing. That really is. That's, you know, something needs to be definitely talked about more, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that you're an advocate, you know, that's hats off to you without a doubt, man. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
It doesn't approach mental illness like it should. It doesn't take care of mental illness like it should.
Yeah.
And sad, actually. But speaking about mental illness, do you remember the Friday the 13th that dealt with the antagonist being a psychopathic teenager? Remember that one? Where he was like in a
That was number 5, was it not, Clint?
Sounds like 5.
I think
In the halfway house.
The White House?
halfway. Yeah, it was a halfway house, and the younger guy, he ended up being Jason. He ended up wearing the mask and.
Oh yeah, the Tommy Jarvis character.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had funny enough, we've talked to a couple of people who were in that movie, one of which was Melanie Kinnaman. And the reason why she didn't do any more Friday the 13th movies, because actually she wasn't killed. They left it on a cliffhanger at the end. Was that the studio just changed their mind on what direction they were going to go with those movies, and they scrapped the idea of moving forward with somebody else being Jason moving forward, and they hired a new writer. That's how we got Tom McLaughlin in there writing part 6, where they resurrect Jason with a bolt of lightning. You know,
I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with it too, but I would have liked to have seen what direction that could have gone.
Hey, well, you know what, Clint? You know what's really funny is no one's so on the indie side. We have one of our really good friends, Peter Anthony. He's done an offshoot of a continuation of part 6, and something that hasn't been done, Clint, is part 5. and Melanie's out there, Tiffany's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
I
are.
mean, it can be done if anybody
be
wants to
done.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of interesting to see. It'll be interesting to watch. I'd watch it.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
And
Chadrick, I want to make sure that you see that comment from Claire. Great respect to you for highlighting and supporting mental health
Through your art.
through your art. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah, back to you, Johnny, though. Continue what you were talking about.
yeah, and Halloween Ends touched a little bit on somebody that's, because did y'all watch Halloween the last?
I'm not talking about it.
Oh, of course.
Not talking about it.
I mean, don't talk about it.
I'm not talking about it. God, oh, God, Jesus.
But I do want to touch on a subject. It's both. I mean, it's about Malcolm. I mean, he wasn't able to join us tonight, but Alex Javo, he's been a huge benefit. He not only the star of the series and the film, but he's done a whole lot to help it progress the way it has, to add more production value to it, he's helped get producers. He's a producer of the series as well. He's helped Alex write it. He's helped bring in investors, help bring actors and actresses into the fold. A lot of people that I know today is because of Alex. So super sad that he wasn't able to join us tonight, but
Hey, we'll
Yeah.
get him. We'll get him eventually.
absolutely.
No, and again, I love the fact that it's like an added bonus when you can have somebody that's such a a spotlight for what you guys are the storytelling you guys are saying and telling. That's to have somebody get behind that. That's, I want to say that's rare, but I guess it's really not. But I guess maybe on the indie side, maybe it is, just because not a lot of eyes are on it. So the fact that he can bring in people like that says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everything that he's done for the production is, I can't thank him enough. And same with Johnny. I can't thank him enough.
I mean, he just entered Malcolm into 6 film festivals. So
Yeah,
and
Wow.
the thing he just told us today. So I mean, he does a lot that and I can't be any more grateful than I am, because of him and Chadrick. His writing skills are great and everything, and his directing skills are great, and just love being a part of the whole team with Alex and Chadrick, and it's just been made lifelong friends. They're my brothers from different mothers. So
That's
There
awesome.
you go. That's what it's all about,
Definitely.
man. That's what it's all about. And don't sell yourself short either. I mean, the what you guys have done together, that says, the passion that you guys have. So, that's it stands on its own. That's the thing, is that, you can talk about it all day long, but when you see what you've done, that's the culmination of it. It's like, between his writing and your DP skills. I mean, it's nice to have somebody, like I said from the get go. It's nice to have somebody you can trust, because too many times, things get changed, things get, they don't go the right direction, they don't go the same direction as what the writer or director says, and you're on the same page, and it shows, and don't sell yourself short, because again, you guys working together, that says a lot.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's the thing about working with Johnny and Alex. It's we are on the same wavelength when it comes to the character, and I feel like I feel like Johnny definitely knows Malcolm inside and out, like me and Alex do. And so, like I said, I was just grateful him coming in and doing being the director of some of the movie. like I said, I'm just really grateful.
Definitely. What?
Teamwork makes a dream work.
That's right.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That should be the motto of everyone.
I agree. I agree. Well, speaking of being grateful, I couldn't be more grateful of having you two gentlemen join us tonight. You know, I knew it was going to be fun. Me and Chadrick had talked. I knew it was going to be fun, but this has been an hour and 5 minutes fun.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even feel like it.
Floating.
No.
But you know, you guys, I can't wait to see what your projects, you know, what they look like when they come out. I'm looking forward to Deadline without a doubt. You know, the Butcher whenever that comes out. You know, just keep doing what you guys are doing. You know, it's going to get noticed, and people are going to watch it. And as soon as these things hit Tubi, you know, Clint and me, we keep a pretty close eye on Tubi for things that, you know, stand out. And honestly, we try to support a lot of you guys out there with the indie, you know, circuit. So as soon as it comes on there, you know, we're going to say, hey, it's on there. Go check it out. You know, let us know what you think.
Yeah, and we'll probably share your trailer on our Facebook page. If there's anything you'd like to share with the group, that'd be great. We'll try to help you promote it. If you got any upcoming crowdfunders or anything like that, I don't know how you raise money for your projects, but if you're like some of the other folks who are trying to hit a goal, crowdfunding is a popular thing. So if you want to share that with us, we'd love to help you.
Absolutely, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We want to see these things. We want to see these things get legs and run because, again, you know, people get tired of seeing the same things, and you know, something about this indie wave, they just spin it, and it winds up being really fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's independent films that are better than these huge blockbusters that you know cost tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, yep.
Here.
What is the best way for people to keep track of where your projects are now and where they're going to be?
You could actually, my goal is to be more active on social media. I have a production company. It's called Ray Entertainment. And you can actually find me on Instagram and on Facebook as well. I have a Facebook group, Ray Entertainment. So definitely check that out. And I'm going to be posting more stuff on those channels as well as things progress. So
we'll send people your way if it's a Facebook group.
For
Definitely.
sure.
And mine is I'm obsessed with social media. I have an addiction to it.
Okay.
And so I'm always on Facebook. You can find me Chadrick R Whitmire on there, and Instagram. My Instagram is at Whitmire Chadrick.
Okay.
And I post some stuff on there, but I'm mainly on Facebook.
Okay.
Got it.
Very cool. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well,
again,
thank you for having us. Thank you.
Oh my God. Again, thank you guys for hopping on here. And if
thank
you
you so much for coming.
Follow us. We are on Facebook as the Hamityville Horror podcast, definitely. I think, aren't we? And then we're Hamityville 2022.
I'm on there, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're there. Yeah. And then we got Hamityville 2022 on Instagram and Twitter. And we do have an email, hamityvillehorror@gmail.com. Any kind of, you know, promotional stuff that you want us to share that you don't want to put on social media and you just want to say, hey, you know, let's we'll hold off on this. I'll email you when we can put it out there. You know, feel free. So
awesome.
Again, gentlemen, thank you so much. Congratulations for everything that you've done, everything you're going to do, and we really can't wait to hear more from you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, you'll have a fantastic night, and thank you again.
You as well.
Y'all too.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again.